Is today's story tutorial going to be an ad? Yes. Are you going to learn something? Most definitely. We're going to show you how to use these correctors. We talked about these last week. It was not an ad then. These are so amazing. The formula is fantastic. I would definitely call these a dupe for the EXA. So let's get into them. I'm going to show you what to do with them, how to use them, what color goes where, and if you really need that color. Let's do this. So I'm going to grab a little bit of a pastel yellow and I'm just going to put it here on my cheek. Okay, so fair skin tones would probably be the candidate that would most likely reach for this light purple. This type of yellow can happen around the eye area in more fair skin tones, more fair than me. I'm more of a light skin tone, especially right now. So we're going to have our little bit of yellow here. I'm going to put a little bit more on. So again, just keep in mind, this is mostly something that happens in fair skin tones. But if this is happening to you and you have this color yellow anywhere on the face, this would be what you're after. Now let's go ahead and start the fun. I'm going to do this with all of them. It's always better to start with a very small amount than it is to have too much. You can already see it start to cancel it. You can also, oh, that's so cool. See that? See how it's here? You can just start to see my skin again. And then we can add more here. While Gene Bean serenades us with his beautiful snores. Fun, right? Makeup is so much fun. Honestly, this is one of the reasons that I got into makeup. Was correctors were so fascinating to me. And again, you might be thinking, why didn't you just add that to begin with? I've been on a makeup journey for a long time and I'm still super careful with how much I add. It's important. So color wheels, they can be a little confusing. But what I'm gonna do is oh, I can't hide it. Okay, so all I want you to focus on right now is I want you to focus on the purple. But I also want you to realize it's a really good visual, but these colors are so vivid that they can be confusing. But if you just think purple, but think of it much lighter, and then I want you to look directly across from purple, you're gonna see yellow. Now, these colors don't normally appear on the face this vivid, and I think that's what throws us off. We need a pastel version, which I'm sure I could go find, but just think of it as the lightest version. Okay, moving on, I'm gonna give you a visual on my cheek. I figured y'all would wanna continue to watch this blend out. It's almost gone. These are very user-friendly. And of course, we're using our C31. Okay, and it's gone. But there's a tip, there's another one, there's a lot, and we're still gonna talk about more. But if I was to layer foundation, whatever you wanna put on top of this, you need to wait for it to completely dry. I would give it at least 60 seconds to completely dry. I'm gonna go ahead and link this brush because it is so perfect for concealers and for correctors because it's so small and it's really able to target those small areas. So I'm gonna link it. Check it out. So now we're gonna move over to orange and you'll see orange over here. Beep, beep, beep. And then you're gonna see the blue. But also what you're going to see on the face isn't necessarily, we're not gonna have a blue spot quite like this. Let me show you on my face. So you're not really gonna see blue, but what you will see underneath here is you would see a darker blue-based brown. So I'm just gonna grab a pretty cool brown. It's gonna have sparkles, but it doesn't matter, it's just tiny. But listen, let me show you. And it's gonna show you about cool tones too. It's gonna be fun. And I did wipe my cheek. I'm gonna wipe my cheek in between all of these. So I'm just gonna grab a blue like this, okay? And then I'm just gonna tap some next to it. And you will be able to see how cool this brown is because you can, obviously you're not gonna see the complete blue, but you can see that it favors this blue. And that's gonna be a cooler tone. And also, this dark of an orange is gonna be best for darker complexions. Also, it's really good for the brown spots, which I'm gonna show you right now. Don't wanna get too off track, but if I look down I know y'all are gonna say, Rose, you don't have dark circles. I don't, but if I was to do an intense smoky eye, you would definitely be able to see this blue. And when I do this, you can see, because you can see this is pulling that. So for me, it would still be in that range, but it would be this lighter peach, which I'm going to do, and I'll show you underneath my eyes. But I just wanted to compare these two really quickly. So this is this is a peach, this is an orange. So I'm linking the orange right now. The orange is what's going to cancel this. I wish somebody would have told me a long time ago to start with small amounts and build, because when I first started this, the first thing I would do is I would have layered all of this everywhere, and that would have not worked. There you go, you can start to see it disappear. But this one I need to teach you how to cover the actual orange. Also, please keep in mind, this is not the color for me. I'm showing you what it does, how it covers, and even how to cover it. So do keep in mind, again, one more time, this is not for my skin tone. Let's just keep blending, and we want to make sure it's really thin and really even. That's what it goes on in my head. Okay, we've got it evened out. This would be who this color is for. I love how they have it listed here, so helpful. But I'm just here to help everyone, and I want to show you how to use them. But if you're curious, there you go. Now again, we need for this to dry. It's got to be dry. I know that we're going, what in the world, dry? Yep, it's not dry yet. It will dry. See, it's not transferring as much. But correctors, they dry down. I'm going to show you. I'm not going to set it because we know that I can't use powders right now. But we can definitely go over it with foundation, and I'm going to show you. So now I want you to take your foundation and just tap it out. If you don't want to use your fingers, please just grab a makeup spatula. Just search makeup spatula on, this isn't, my fingers actually sanitize, this isn't, but you could sanitize this, tap it out with this. So get yourself one if you don't like to touch your face with your fingers. But let's just make sure it's nice and smooth. Yes. Okay, that's good. Now, we need our foundation brush. But what's gonna happen here is tapping. We cannot, please do, oh my gosh. Do you see that? Do you see how dark that was? And now it's completely covered. And that was not my skin tone. There will be no swiping. I love you, but you can swipe anywhere else. But if you're going over corrector, just do yourself a favor. Hold that brush really far back, because you're going to have really light pressure, and tap. Just do some little tippy taps. Even if you just fight that urge to swipe, because what's going to happen is you're going to mix it all together. But since it's dry, we're able to go very lightly and tap on top. Yes. And that goes for all correctors. No matter what color you are sporting, please do yourself a favor. And what I said about holding that brush far back is so important, because you're going to have the lightest pressure and the lightest touch, and you can just go right over. And the fact that that did not mix in, you can't see that. And that was not my skin tone. So it's about the pressure. It's also about the formula. That formula has to be able to dry down, and it has to be able to layer. And this one layers beautifully. Now, we kind of already talked about yellow when we talked about the purple, but we have to talk about yellow here. Now, let's look at the yellow. There it is. What is across? Purple. So this is going to help neutralize purple, and there's another way to use it, and I'm going to show you. So really quickly, let me just put on some purple here. Put a little bit of purple. It can even do kind of that blue too, that it can kind of cross over, because purple does have so much blue. We tap that in a little bit more. A little bit more blue. A little bit more purple. Tap down top. Okay. Again, if you just want to go check out their website, I'm going to put it here. So it's the dullness. But you know, dullness, I'm so glad I'm doing this as a visual. In the skin, this would be the dullness. It would be, actually it would be, I need to correct this purple a little bit more. Just hang on, I'm going to teach you. But the dullness in the skin is this purple, it's very flat. It used to be for me that when I heard the word dullness, I was like, what is dullness? Where is it? But it's really this color, which I'm going to show you, and I'll correct this because this is going a little bit too pink. We'll just add some blue. Excuse me. But look at the skin tones. Check that out. So what we'll do here is we're just going to add a little bit of a very cool tone brown on top, and that is going to be the dullness. So it's very much purple, it's very much blue, but it's more of a dull version. These are very neon, very primary. So if you're going to see it on the face, it's going to look more like that. Perfect. Gosh, I wish somebody would have showed me that. Why didn't y'all tell me? Now let's go on top with our yellow. I did grab another C31 and focus it mainly where that spot is, where that discoloration is. Notice that I'm just going in the center of this first. Okay. Now we can start to feather it out. Stretch it, if you will. I'm going to wipe it on the back of my hand just to make sure we didn't pick up any of that product. We can add just a little bit more in the center. We're seeing that these layer beautifully. Perfect. Again, I cannot stress enough. Let it dry. I know we're in a hurry. I find myself in a hurry 24/7. But please, listen. Somewhere in my makeup chaos, get a hand fan. This will do 30 seconds, okay? Amazon, they have to dry. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to go Google Kim K, I know, just Google Kim K banana powder. And the reason I'm having you Google that is because we can use this for the medium to medium tan skin tones. We can use this as a brightener. Y'all know how I use the pink one as a brightener for my skin tone? I'm gonna show you. It's not gonna be my skin tone, but I'm gonna show you. Now, depending on your under eye circles, this is where you would first do your corrector to correct your under eye circles. Remember, we would have, say we're deeper skin tone, we would use this color. That is not the one for me. We've talked about that, but I'm showing you. And then if you're me, you would use this lighter peach. We're still gonna get to this one, but I'm just showing you that. So then I'm not gonna do that over here, but that would be our first step. Second step, concealer. I'm just gonna go in with concealer and show you this really quickly. Okay, that's my color. This is the concealer I would use. We need a C31, let's tap it out. Tap, 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 tap. And normally we would have foundation on for this. It's a very glam situation, but it's a very fun and brightening situation. Okay, we got our concealer on. It's bright, but I also reference Kim because of her skin tone. Again, I want to mention I'm going to be too fair for this, but if you are her skin tone, even a little bit darker, this is going to be really fun. Take that yellow and we're going to go on top, and it's going to mix ever so lightly with that concealer, and this is going to be a really fun banana brightening shade. That picture she has on that banana powder, and this would be the same thing. You could set this with the yellow powder. Again, I am not this skin tone, but it's something really fun to play around with, and it really brightens the under eye. And it's very much the pink under eye trend, but for other skin tones. Cha-cha! So bright, then we would just set. Now moving over to peach. Peach is the one I would use. Peach is the one that I use, and I love this formula so much. Love. This one is going to be fair to medium skin tones. Remember, after that, we switch to orange. But I'm going to show you how I do it. Y'all have seen me do it, but I got to show you again. All right, let's do this. Peach corrector. We're going to put that underneath there. We're going to grab our C31. And we want this very thin underneath the eye. And whenever I do a very dark, smoky eye, anything that's gonna really bring out this underneath my eyes, I always reach for peach corrector. Pretty. Now, I'm focusing most of it very close underneath my eye, but if you see me coming down here, I'm feathering, and it's going from the darkest, most pigmented to non-existent. I don't really want that peach to creep any farther down than right here. Then I would go in with my concealer. Remember, we did let this dry. Same brush, and we're going to tap that on top. Now listen, we've seen me do this many times with the smoky eye. This is not going to be as impactful right now, but it's very impactful when I have on dark eyeshadow, and it really helps balance. Also, if you have a lot of concealers and they're casting shadows, we can talk about that. And by casting shadows, they kind of just look worse when you put them on. A peach corrector, or the orange, depending on your skin tone, could actually fix that. Let me show you. Okay, no corrector, wiped all that off. I'm just gonna put on some of this. This is just a white eye paint. This is all just for visual, just teaching y'all. Okay. This concealer's pretty light too. Let's tap this out. And without anything underneath it, and once it was set, which I can't use powders to show you, please forgive me, but you can already see, it's not even giving us any coverage, and you're seeing all of my milia really come through. Concealer that's too light is just, it's not friendly. It's not. And I could even get away with wearing this with my skin tone. But what's happening is we can just see everything. We're even gonna get patchiness. So I'm gonna do the same thing over here, but with corrector underneath. Nothing over here right now. Let's do some peach corrector. Let's blend out our peach corrector, just like we did on the other eye. Jeez. I just look at makeup as like a giant science experiment. I turn into like a scientist. I love it so much. Okay, make sure it's nice and smooth. Grab the white again. I don't really want to go on top of the corrector with that, so I'm going to put it on the back of my hand. It's there though. Okay. And then that same concealer that we just put on. Okay, I'm going to mix it together. It's going to be really, really light, but you're going to see more balance over here because of that corrector underneath. Actually, I'm just going to stop and then I'll just blend the whole next slide. Okay, let's blend this out. And then you can already see that it's just so much more forgiving. And I did an extreme comparison. Moral of the story is peach will add balance, peach or the orange. And you can actually salvage a lot of your concealers that are too light for you. Oh, Douglas is onto the snoring too. Oh, that looks so good. See? No patchiness. More even. Cool, right? Now, back to the experiment. Going into green. See that? See what's across some green? Pink and red. That's what this is going to neutralize. I will give you the visual. Let's grab some red eyeshadow. Perfect. Chaos. Okay, let's do this. We've done this before, but I will say that the other formula that I showed, it was very gel-like, and I prefer ones that are more creamy. Ooh, look at that. Like this one here. And it's gone. come on in my head. Also, I'm feeling so much better. Let's add some more. So I'm starting to feel more like myself and more fun and playful. It's always better to build, y'all. I actually do have real redness there. And there you can see just kind of how easily it covers just natural redness and not just fire engine redness. But you can also see how well it covered this. And then we would put our concealer or foundation, whatever you would like, on top. Just let it dry. Last but not least, the pink. Y'all have seen me use this pink. Now, pink would be really, really great for very, very fair skin tones underneath. I don't use it that way because I'm more of a light, and I will go into a light medium skin tone very soon. Summertime. But I'm going to show you how I use it or how you can use it. I'm going to show both really quickly. I'm going to show you under. I also use pink to correct concealers that are too yellow, which I could show you that too, because I'm just here to help you. So this would be under your concealer, and I'm going to here's the pink. I know I'm talking a lot and maybe repeating myself, but it's important to know where we're at. So this would be really pretty to brighten under. So it is going to work, but it's not going to give the same just super brightening effect. For me, where I'm at on the skin tone chart, it's better to mix it with concealers. Love this concealer, but it's way too yellow for me. I would use it like this. And you could even use it underneath to correct concealers that pull a little bit yellow. See how that just neutralized it? Not the pink under eye trend. This is just about correcting things that pull yellow, especially on fair skin tones. So that's one way. And then we would just put concealer on top. Let me add a little bit more and show you here. And then we'll grab our concealer. Then we'll blend this in, and then I'll just show you the concealer by itself underneath the other eye. I'm all about comparisons. That's how I learn. I'm so visual, and I just feel that my entire makeup life, I couldn't get the visuals that would help me, so I create them. I'm just doing what would have helped me, and I hope it's helping you. So here's the concealer by itself. Oh Lord, you can see that difference. So that's one way to use it, under as a corrector, or listen. I'm going to show you. Okay, look at that visual. I'm a mess. Am I a mess? Yes, but we're learning. I'm gonna grab my proper concealer shade, and by proper, this one is just great by its own, doesn't need mix. Just, it works. It's very pinky peach, and it works perfectly for my skin tone. We'll talk about it another day. I've talked about it, but onward, okay. Smooth that out. And this is what I want, a really, really bright under eye. Just super spicy. Super brightened. Bring it in here. Okay, no need to wait for it to dry because we're just doing some layers here. Okay, now we're gonna pop that pink on top, and it's going to brighten this up further. And then I would set with my pink powder, and then it would be impossible to tell me what. Ooh, that's a pretty bright under eye, and I can't use powder right now. Sorry, but you can see how nice that looks. If we were to do the powder on top, so bright, so smooth. This is the one that I use the most. All right, that's it for today. as with all of my ads, you've seen them before. You're going to see them after. And you probably learned something, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help. It just so happens that brands do appreciate the information that I'm able to get across, and it's how I make my living. I love you all so much. I'm going to save this to YouTube. I'm actually just going to go ahead and save it tonight, because this was top-notch helpful information. We have to have this. This under eye looks so good. I kind of can't get over it. It's really not even creasing that much, and I don't even have powder on. Interesting. I love y'all with all of my heart. I don't know what I'm posting tonight, but I will see you in the comments, and I love you so much. Check these out. $6. They're only $6. Okay. Love y'all.